The battle for power and control of municipalities is escalating in the Northwest amid deepening factions in the ANC. Meanwhile, poor service delivery continues to soar in the province, known for pothole-ridden roads and acute water challenges, among other problems. To talk more on this, we're joined by Head of Communications at Forum for Service Delivery, Tonic Manchidi, EFF Deputy Provincial Chairperson Mutusi Mundwedi, and Freddy Sonakile, who's the DA Chief Whip in the Northwest Legislature. Good evening to you all, and thank you so much for your time this evening. I'll begin with you, Freddy. When you look at what has been going on in the province where you are, developments around the outgoing premier and the premier designate, and now there's an acting premier as well, what are your reactions then to the situation?
All the developments that have been happening in the Northwest are an indication of a party that is tired, a party that no longer has vision, and a party that does not care about the residents. Because when you look at the pattern, you'll remember that Job Mogoro came in 2018. When he came in, he was seen as the messiah then, who will come and bring changes from the then premier, Supra Mahumapelo, who had fallen into negativity with some of the members of the ANC by then. And there was even the Suprema's Fall campaign that was there. Then Mogoro came in. Unfortunately, at the time when Mogoro came in, it was also at the time when Section 100 of the Constitution was invoked in the province, whereby national administration came in and took some of the powers of a number of departments and MECs from them so that they can be done, certain things could be done at national. So there was also a coalition cause that came in between the Premier Mogoro and his executive and the Section 100 team, which led to some of the decisions that Premier Mogoro and his MECs were making that had to be overruled by national, and this created problems. Then Premier Mogoro came in. Throughout his term, he never really had any authority. At one point, you'll remember he went public saying that he's going to do a reshuffling to his cabinet because he had done an assessment and felt that some of these MECs were not working and he had wanted to take them out. But then now came this third party into this, which was the ANC IPC, which was saying that, no, you need to consult us in order for you to exercise your powers. Then he said, no, that is impossible. Then there was this big fight between them. At the time when the fight was continuing, services were deteriorating. And because now this battle was from national to the province, municipalities were starting to deteriorate as well. If you check, I think out of the 22 municipalities in the Northwest, 12 are dysfunctional. I think 8 of those are partially functional. Then there's only 2 that are functional, but with issues. So it shows that amidst of all these fights, amidst of the chopping and turning of leaders within the province, the services to the people were not being given. Then Mogoro came in. Throughout his term, he was not achieving anything. He had this man who was next to him as a political and economic advisor. It was Bushimape. 3 years down the line, Bushimape is being introduced as a premier candidate without Mogoro even knowing or being informed. So there's also this challenge. Mogoro sits back and says, no, I'm not going to be resigning. Then before Bushimape is being introduced, there are 2 other candidates that are being pitted for the position. It's Motlalepule Khosho, the MEC of Finance, and Susan Danchi, the Speaker of the Legislature. These 2 ladies are then shunned by their own party to say, you are not fit for purpose. None of you can make it as the premier. So they bring in someone from outside who becomes Bushimape to come and become a premier. Someone who's not even in the legislature until a seat has been created for him or someone vacates the seat. After that, what is interestingly, yesterday, when we are still looking at this for EXCO to now appoint an acting MEC amongst themselves, the very same ANC EXCO comes back and appoints Motlalepule Khosho, whom the party had rejected 2 weeks back to say, no, you can't be premier. So she's fit enough to become acting premier, but she's not fit enough to become an MEC, to become the premier of the province. So it shows that there are issues within the ANC that they themselves cannot even consult on say, or even say what is going on. It shows the kind of...
I'm going to ask us just to pause for a second because I'd like to bring in Tonic as well as Mutusi into this conversation. Tonic, you're listening to Freddy. He's talking of apparent confusion. And when one looks at the developments that have happened in recent days, would you say that there is more to what we're seeing in the public domain than meets the eye?
Greetings, Bongiwe, and the viewers of Newsroom Africa. What is happening in the Northwest, it is power play, it is a game of factions, which at the end of the day, the people of Bokone-Bophirima are suffering from this power play. So as Forum for Service Delivery, you will have learned that between last year and this year, through our motions in different municipalities, we managed to remove about 5 mayors in Lekwe, Temane, in Madibeng, in Greater Daung. We removed these mayors because in the absence of leadership, the mayors and the councillors, they will do as they wish. So as we speak in the province of Northwest, there is no leadership. As the result, we have seen the councillors collaborating with their friends, buying trucks so that they can sell water. Because if you go to Madibeng municipality, there is no water. Councillors are becoming rich. We have seen in the past when the statistics came out that they were at least the municipality of Madibeng was spending not less than 4,000 per truck out of 10 trucks, which gives adds up to 1.3 million that the municipality is spending towards buying water. And then in this municipality, Bongi, where the settings is, there is Crocodile River there. There is no need to buy the water. The only thing that was supposed to be done was to fix the pipes so that our people can receive water. So we are saying to the residents of Bokone-Bophirima, it is time, we need to remove, starting from the councillors and the mayors in different districts of the Northwest.
And Muthusi, we're listening to both the views of the Forum for Service Delivery and the Democratic Alliance, and they paint a picture of residents that appear to be at the mercy of factional battles in that province. And what we are also seeing in the public domain is that there are some faces that could be touted to take over as MECs should, the Premier designate then be sworn in and things continue as planned. Are you having some expectations when it comes to these individuals that could then become effectively the new leaders of the province?
Thank you very much, Bongiwe. Greetings to you, the gentlemen, and the viewers at home. Bongiwe, the truth is that the Northwest Province, we see ANC factional battles at play in the province. We see national leadership of the ANC wanting to hold very firm to whoever who would come in as a premier, so that the network of patronage that has forever been there, they want to see continuation of a network of patronage. They want to see continuation of rampant corruption, maladministration, where it's about leadership of the ANC benefiting at the expense of our communities. It is indeed true. The state of governance in the province has collapsed, and even if a new premier comes, this is a premier who knows nothing about government. This is a premier who do not even be able to tell us government would want to achieve. Even those that are warming up at the benches in the form of those who would want to be MECs, this and that, they do not have any interest of ensuring that service delivery is actually prioritized. Their interest is to ensure that a continuation of malfeasance, a continuation of corruption, the network of patronage continues. So as the EFF in the province, we do not have any faith and confidence in any of those people, whether the premier, whether the new incoming MECs, if they're ever going to be, because they have shown over many years. And this is a recycling of some of these people that are there in the ANC, those that want to come in as MECs. They've long been there. scandal after scandal. But I think in the ANC, after a few months, you are cleansed of a scandal that you were removed from the previous term, and then you become a new person that can now actually resume the responsibility in government. So as the EFF, we actually, all of these confusions are actually not good for us as the residents, are not good for us because there's no leadership currently. There's confusion in terms of what is happening in government. There's vacuum. So the sooner the ANC sort out their mess, because the ANC's mess seems to affect the government where services must then be taken out to our people. So the sooner they sort out their mess, but the greatest process where the ANC would sort out their mess is for us to go to an election where the people must actually elect a government of their choice that would ensure that quality, decent services are taken to our people.
And for you, you know, Freddie, when you look at what is currently unfolding, and you know, when the new premier then in fact takes his office, what would you say to him are the priority areas?
You know, this province is really messed up to an extent that whoever needs to come in needs to first do a diagnosis of everything that has went wrong. I can point to you department after department. You go to your health department, there are issues. You go to your social development. The first thing I think it will be to go back to the cold face of service delivery, which is the municipalities. Because once you get it wrong on the municipalities, it is definitely not easy to take it back to the province and everywhere. And if you look at the pattern in the Northwest, the biggest department where they play games is with the Department of Coxta, where direction to this municipality is supposed to be from. As it is from Mohoro's era of 2018 to now, we've had 6 MECs for Coxta. It shows how not serious the ANC is to the people. And it now signals also, because the timing of all this, for some reason, I think it's a good thing, because it also says to the voters out there, the ANC has failed you a number of times. You are being given an opportunity here with the elections. You have other parties that you can look up to. And you have the Democratic Alliance, obviously, as one that is also behaving municipalities and doing miracles where it is. So whoever will come in must first go to local government and start to sort out the mess there, because that is where the biggest rot is at. And if you don't start with it, then you'll have problems.
Tonic, for you, it sounds like Freddie and Muthusi are not convinced that Bushy Mape might be the man for the job. Are you?
Bongiwe Bushy was the advisor to Mohoro. There is nothing that the advisor to Mohoro. Remember, if you are advisor of the premier and the premier fails, what are you going to do? There is nothing that Bushy will do. This is going to be the first time in the history of NorthWest where Forum for Service Delivery is going to take over municipalities. That's why we are losing our patience with the marbles that are being played by IEC in collude with ANC. We want elections as we are ready to take over the Northwest so that we can clean the mess that ANC has done in the province. We are the only party, Bongiwe, that can fix what Supra Cabal, what Mohoro Cabal done. So as for Bushy, shame, we don't have confidence. We know the man failed to advise Mohoro in just cleaning or just providing water. In the Northwest, the Northwest is the West province in terms of service delivery.
For you, Muthusi, very briefly, as a final word then from you this evening, what will it take to unite the Northwest?
Well, for me, the unity of the Northwest is actually going to come immediately if we can have an election where people should be able to get an opportunity of electing a corrupt-free government. But with this current development in the ANC, there's no unity. They're actually even going to disintegrate the Northwest communities further, because the amount of service delivery protest on daily basis. So the government has collapsed. So the only thing that will take is for government to actually go to an election as soon as this term of office comes to an end, and elect a government of the people. And quickly, there's nothing that Bushi needs. Bushi knows where he comes from in Freiburg. He knows sewages running in the streets. He knows houses that are surrounded by water from sewages that is unable to run. So he knows what the problems are from where he comes. He needs no introduction. He knows the problems. He knows the roads. He knows the state of healthcare in the province. So all he has to do is to go. He does not need another 3 to 4 years of doing a diagnosis to check what the issues are. Issues are there. He knows, we all know what the issues are.
All right. I'd like to thank you all for your time this evening. That was Tonic Manchidi from the Forum for Service Delivery, EFF Northwest Deputy Chair Mutusi Mundwedi, and DA Northwest Chief Whip Freddie Sonakile.